not a savior smoker, we're here to save the day. We got tips and tricks, reviews and more. Join us on the back porch, that's what we're here for. We're not professionals, but we're here to help. Take a step into the lounge, don't be by yourself. Light up a stick, let the stories unfold. In the back porch lounge where the vibe is bold. Shy about the shop, no need to fear. We'll teach you the ropes and make it all clear. Learn the lingo, find your cigar groove. With the Leaf Cutters crew, you got nothing to prove. We're not professionals, but we're here to help. Take a step into the lounge, don't be by yourself. Light up a stick, let the stories unfold. In the back porch lounge where the vibe is bold. So grab your cigar, join the conversation. Let's light it up, spark some inspiration. The Leaf Cutters are here, the world to ignite. One stick at a time, under the porch light.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Back Porch Lounge. We are the Leaf Cutters, and we are not professionals, but we are here to help. And today we have a special guest in the lounge with us, and that's Gene Romanowitz. Yay! I finally figured it out.
You almost did it.
I almost screwed it up. I was that close to screwing it
It
up.
was too much pressure. It was all in your head.
I was going to go Romanowski again, and, I don't know why.
Sure, Gene R.
Romanowitz. Gene R. There we go. I'll just call you Gene. How about that?
There you go.
Makes my life easier. So go ahead and say hey, Gene, since we introduced you.
Hello, everyone. So do you want me to explain what I do? Why I'm here?
Sure. Why not?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
So my official title is the brand manager of Cigar World. And I am also the editor-in-chief, which makes me sound very important. But I manage the cigarworld.com website, and it's really cool. It's been a really fun journey. And I do other things. I work technically for STG under the General Cigar umbrella, but my specific role is the Cigar World brand manager.
That's awesome. So we're going to dig into the Cigar World today.
Yeah.
It's a cool place.
Today, in honor of Gene, we are smoking a lot of, well, you'll see the pattern here in a minute. I'm starting off with the La Gloria
Nice.
Cubana. It's, I haven't had this particular one before, but I'm expecting good thing because I like.
Is that La Gloriosos? Is that the new one?
Yes, the Gloriosos.
Very cool.
Brought to you by PCA.
Brought to you by PCA.
Specifically, it's PCA cigar.
Yeah. And how about you, Andy?
I've got the Punch Knuckle Buster Maduro, the stubby.
Nice.
And just in case that doesn't last, I've got a Punch Classic because they were on sale at the local shop.
There you go.
Because I already smoked all my good stuff from
PCA. It's gone. I mean, it is almost September.
Jeez.
How about you, Billy?
I am trying out my first Johnny Tobacco Nut. I've been hanging on to this since PCA and looking forward to it.
Love it.
That's a
Moon
good cigar,
Man.
too. How about you, Robert?
I will be smoking the Diesel Backyard Barbecue Pulled Pork.
Awesome.
And I actually skipped over Grim there. Grim, how about you, buddy?
Accidentally. It's okay. I'm taking notes. It's fine. Don't worry about it. We'll come back to this.
When he quits again, it's your fault.
It is.
I'm smoking the Diesel Whiskey Row.
2 Diesels.
That's a good cigar. All right. How about you, Zach?
We got the Alec Bradley Black Market, which is
Fantastic.
one I've had before, but it's been a while.
So all good cigars here in the Back Porch Lounge today. And as we light these things up, Robert, do you have a question?
I actually do. It's a question that was put forth to me by someone else, and I couldn't answer it. Someone asked you, what is the demographic of cigar smokers today? I know historically it was mostly men, and I see it's changed, but what do you have the data for what the demographics are?
Well, I can tell you the demographics that we have on Cigar World. And the demographics are surprising because we do have a heavier female presence than one would expect. I think a lot of that could be due to the fact that we do focus on content, but we have probably about within the 30% being female. And then, 60 plus from there are men. Age is where we come into, I guess maybe not as unexpected. We have a younger demographic of, I would say that 21 to 35, because we focus a lot of our content on trying to help out the newer cigar consumer. Therefore, they start off when they're in that age of, I'm quitting maybe my traditional tobacco product and moving into cigars. I'm picking up a hobby. That's something I can do with my friends now that I've gotten a little bit older. That's the kind of person that we're really working with. But our age ranges obviously go all the way up, are heavily in that 21 to 35.
Very cool. Thank you.
Wow.
Damn, I'm getting old.
I was just thinking
Yeah,
that.
I was about to
myself.
say. Oh my God.
Damn.
Listen, I'm not in that demographic either. I'm out of that one.
Well, thank you for making
Yeah.
us feel slightly less old. But
There you go.
There you go. That's right.
Now if I can get
so-
AARP to stop sending me emails.
they've been sending me shit since I was like 18.
Same here. Their research
Uh,
is terrible. I don't know where they get their numbers from.
Yeah.
That's because there's no age requirement to sign up for AARP.
I thought you
There
had
you
to
go.
be 55.
No.
So same.
you can
Mm-mm.
take advantage of AARP young.
Learn
I feel like
something
this segment's
every
about to
day.
be sponsored by AARP.
This section of the Leafs Cutters brought to you by AARP. Sign up when you're young, kids.
Not my
I'm
episode.
just thinking like I missed out on a lot of discounts in my life.
Dang.
I don't know the AAA
That's good
discount's
first-
better. I'm just saying.
I know, right? It is. I ain't
It
gonna lie,
feels
this
less
is- no lie.
terminal also.
Mhm.
It does.
But let's do first thoughts on our cigars, guys.
We'll go.
Damn, that one
Damn.
actually surprises me. Yeah, that one had a good kick to start off with, but it had a kick, but it was a smooth kick. If that makes sense, it's not harsh at all.
Velvet brick to the face.
A velvet brick to the face. I love it. That's a great description of it.
I like it.
And it has a really good taste to it. It's just in line with all the other La Glorias I've had. Man, I'm really digging that. So, how about you, Andy?
Mine's not as much. I don't know. It's the Maduro. It's not as much maybe a kick in the face, but it's right. On light up, it's right kind of where I expect it to be. It's got a little pepper to it. It's got it's got a little meat to it. But yeah, I'm afraid it'll be a short smoke because it's a stubby and it's kicking kind of long pretty quick.
That's not true for you. You can make that thing last for like an hour and a half.
Deal.
That's true. He probably can't.
You can. He has that talent. I do not. But he has that talent to make that cigar last a long time. How about you, Billy?
Yeah, like I said, this is my first Johnny Tobacco Nut, and I didn't really know what to expect going into it. I didn't really do any research, so good, nice spice on the light up. Yeah, it was kind of surprising. I wasn't really ready for that. I was like, whoa. But yeah, it's good so far. I'm really digging it so far.
And how about you, Grim?
No, it's Robert's turn.
Hey, how about you, Robert?
It's okay. Don't worry. I'm not hurt. It's I know my place in the pecking order now.
He's
Go ahead,
Grim's
call
got
Robert,
thin
and
skin.
I'll
That's
tell
what
you.
I'm discovering here.
Right.
He's the talent. I mean, it is what it is.
Diva's gonna diva.
So, Robert, you want to go?
Sure, I'll go. So this is my second one. And like the first one, it's a damn tasty cigar. It lit up great, burning great. The aroma that comes off the end is really, really nice. So looking forward to the rest of this thing.
Awesome. All right, Grim. Feel better now? Bud?
Hey, I'm just saying. I actually smoke these pretty regularly. I love these cigars, so I'm biased today.
That is true. You do smoke. You get those on the regular.
That is historically one of your go-tos.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that for the startup, shit was dope. It was dope as shit. It was awesome.
There you go. It's the
And that-
important things.
That's a fair assessment. That's a fair assessment. How about you, Zach?
Well, I haven't had this cigar in probably, I'm going to say 2 years or so, and it's different from what I remember, but it's fantastic. It's like solid, well-built cigar, and getting some chocolatey notes and some coffee. Really looking forward to the rest of it.
All right.
I like
So
coffee.
now that we got the cigars out of the way, we can talk to Gene.
I was taking notes.
All right, Gene.
Help out with
You were taking
social
notes.
copy. Always love to
Don't
some quotes.
give us validity to anything. Jeez.
I want to know how long
Cutter
it
said
took for
this
you to go
cigar's dope as shit.
So tell us more about Cigar World. For the person who hasn't gone to the site, tell us more about it.
Cigarworld.com is a website that is supposed to be the authority of cigars for anyone from a new cigar consumer all the way to a zealot. We have education, information, content that is appealing to cigar adjacent categories. We have a library of cigars, which is one of my favorite parts, where you can go in, find a cigar that you want to learn more about. You can click on it and see the wrapper, binder, filler information. You can see the tasting notes. So Zach, like maybe you just memorized all of Cigar World's tasting notes.
I have looked at Cigar World, but I did not do that. I did not memorize them. I assure you, these are my own notes, and nobody is paying me to say them.
Becomes original.
You just skim through the site and remember the entire thing in one sitting. He's a savant.
That would be amazing.
Listen,
That's what it is.
maybe. I don't know if I want that much information. But we also have a retail locator, which is really a focus of ours because we are supporters of experiencing cigars in a way that isn't just sitting behind your computer and ordering them online. So we really encourage our consumers to go into a retail shop and actually see the cigars, touch the cigars if they're allowed to, smell them, and then have the community of a lounge, if possible, to smoke their cigars. So we place our retail locator of high importance so that you can find a shop near you. We also have our events where we keep track of events that are going on in the local areas so that people can find out where they can maybe get a good sale or meet a influencer or check out a new launch. And then we also have our community, which is something that I want to lean more into, but it's a very Facebook-like experience with groups, and you can post what you're smoking and take pictures and interact with different members of Cigar World as you would on, say, Facebook. So we have a multitude of things that are within the site, but I think the biggest ones would be the cigar library, the store locator, and then the content.
Then you have groups also that are, brand specific as well.
We do. So say you're a Diesel fan, you're a big Whiskey Row guy like Graham, you could be a member of the Diesel community and talk about all things Diesel. So this allows people who are maybe not comfortable to step into the cigar lounge setting yet to talk with other people about the cigar smoking experience so they can maybe feel more comfortable to go to the cigar lounge, because believe it or not, it can be a intimidating experience for some people to walk into a smoke shop or a cigar lounge when they're new to the category.
Yep. And that's what
very
we
true.
preach all the time. That's why we're here, to help out the novice cigar smoker, try to get into it.
Well, and I do
Get
have
over
to
that
say,
fear of
I've
going
worked
to
in
the lounge.
tobacco for a long time, but I've only been working with cigars for about 4 years now. And it is such a friendly community. So I would love for people to understand that they don't need to be intimidated. They're going to be, but I was really taken aback that the community was so nice, because it is really niche and different. I think it can be intimidating, but I've had nothing but a good experience myself.
Yeah. Well, I think honestly, it's more whenever you're going into a shop for the first time, you're maybe embarrassed that you don't know all the terminology, you don't know what necessarily you like, and things like that. And that's the intimidation factor.
Yep, absolutely.
Is with your experience, they're there to help you either way. If you know what you're talking about, you don't know what you're talking about. Most tobacconists are going to sit there to be there to help you out.
They want to make a sale,
And-
so they should be nice.
They
to
want to
you.
make a sale. They're going to be nice
Find a
to you.
different shop,
Yeah, and exactly. If they're not, go to a different shop. But also the people, like you said, are friendly. Most of the time when you go to a cigar shop, the people that are there hanging out, they're there all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So when they see a new face, they're like, "Hey, what's going on with you? How's it going?" If you sit down. So I agree. It's a reason you should get into the shops and talk to people and branch out a
Well,
little bit.
and you have people from all different walks of life, and that doesn't matter. It seems as though everybody still congregates and has conversations because they all have this love for the same thing, this product that they enjoy using. So it's always been interesting to me to see that. And then they can share experiences and tips and tricks. And I mean, it's I've always thought it was really cool.
Yeah. And getting to tips and tricks, what are some tips and tricks for Cigar World that you would want people to know about?
So
I mean, I know you said you need the groups and everything.
Yep. So I would become a member. We have our membership, which is free. It doesn't cost anything, but that's where you are able to log in. So you're not able to access everything unless you log in. So tip, create an account, because then you're able to review cigars, which is something that is also a big focus right now, is that we are basically Yelp for cigars. It's all consumer based. None of the reviews are touched. They are as is. We don't go in because we're under a certain umbrella and change anything or get rid of anything. And it's really that authority and trust that you can take into consideration, that you can look at what other people are saying about the cigar. Then you can also see who they are. They may be somebody who's been smoking cigars for less than a year or somebody who's been smoking cigars for decades. So you can kind of gauge it based off of that as well, versus just hearing what you're supposed to hear when you read the packaging or you hear about the launch. You can actually hear it from people. So that's really good. A lot of our content also lies behind being able to log in. So that's like I said, a big one for us. Also, we tailor our emails based off your activity on the site. So if you want to have really personalized emails that are going to be sent to you that highlight things that are going to be of interest to you, I would spend some time on the site clicking around, looking at the things that you like, because then our system knows what kind of information to send you so that you're not just getting a generic email. So the system is really smart. I don't understand it all the way because we have a team of very smart people that do that, but it is set up in a way to really customize your experience. So definitely don't just log in, log out, and expect to be getting emails that are tailored to your liking. Another thing, I guess, another tip or a trick for Cigar World would be the blend. So when you look at our menu, there is a little click on the side that's called the blend. And that link, I like to call my link, because a lot of the content in there I have written or interviewed people, and it's that cigar adjacent lifestyle interest category. We have interviews with all different kinds of folks. We like to do a Women Crush Wednesday where we'll talk about different women that are in the industry. We also have our roast and toast in there where we'll pair a cigar with a drink. We usually do it around a social media holiday, National Margarita Day or something. And then we also have in there pieces about artisans, because that's something we think is really interesting. There's a lot of big companies out there that make different accessories and such, but there's also a lot of really cool, unique, small artisans who make all different sorts of interesting gear for cigars. We've had people on there who make different humidors. We've had people who make clocks with cigars as the ticks along the clock, an analog clock.
Cool.
Apologies, you got to know how to read one to have one of those. I am learning is something apparently people don't know how to do anymore.
Nope.
So and those are people that I've really reached out into the world of cigars and found these people, sometimes at PCA, but a lot of them not, because they're not even big enough to make it there. So we're trying to kind of help these smaller businesses. It aligns with that concept of helping out the retailers as well, where we want people to have those unique pieces. And a lot of these folks operate on Etsy, or they may have their own shop, little website or shop on Etsy, and they'll do a lot of custom work too. So you can have things made specifically for you or for a friend or things like that.
That's cool.
But
Cool.
That's my last trick, I guess, would be don't forget the blend, because that's where all the cool stuff is of people who I've sat down to chat with and other interests that I think, and sometimes I might be wrong, but But I think people would be interested in hearing about, because I learned so many random pieces of information in this job that I'm like, that is so cool. And then I want to share it with everybody. So I think thus far we've been able to form a lot of partnerships that way with people in the space to also amplify Cigar World, because a lot of people don't know what it is yet. So, which breaks my heart into 5 million pieces. So everybody that listens to this should follow Cigar World and go to the website.
Absolutely.
Say no more. I'll sign up now.
Yay! You should already be signed up.
I'm already signed up.
Already signed up.
I went back and
Speaking
looked.
of,
I've been signed up for 5 years, so.
There you go.
He's been on it the longest. So speaking of artisans and accessories and things like that, we heard you had a recent collaboration with a guest we recently had on, Stogie Mag.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Colonel Stogie.
Yeah,
So-
we really like those guys.
Me
Yeah, they're
too.
fun.
Me too. So I met Colonel Stogie and the guys from Stogie Mag at PCA last year, and was completely intrigued by their concept of utilizing these mags to store your cigars. I also love upcycling. That's a personal thing for me. So when I encounter people that have that same kind of passion, I'm always excited to get into it. But you see so many humidors that look the same. And cutters that look the same, ashtrays, etc. So when you see something that's really unique, it's something you want to learn more about. And they are fun, genuinely kind people who have really come up with a great idea. And I hope nothing but the best for them. And we continue to do different collaborations with them because we do believe in their brand. We think it's great. And they are such awesome guys. So yeah, that's definitely an example of a partnership that we forged over the past couple of years.
They're great dudes, so I definitely had to
That's
bring
awesome.
them up.
It's funny you brought them up because I'm wearing their t-shirt today.
Yeah. I have one of those. It's a pajama shirt for me, but
It's very very
Yeah,
soft and
super
very
soft.
comfy. Yes, super soft.
they had that camouflage at PCA this year. That was the teal, blue, and pink, which
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I am a pink girl. I won't wear pink, but I love pink. And I saw that and I was like going after a girl's heart here. I told him, I was like, listen, you need to talk to Nick at El Mago because his brand looked so much like theirs. He has a cigar with that teal blue band and that pink band. And I was like, you need to talk to him because his cigars would look so great next to your accessory.
Yeah.
That is
Well, I
awesome.
mean,
I
they
dig
did
the
allude
80s
to
vibe.
they were going to have a collab with some people and try to get their coloring and banding. So maybe he did
Maybe.
talk to them.
That'd be cool.
I mean, if he's already got the color scheme down, why not?
Slap a logo on
Slap
there.
your logo on it.
Boom.
That's right.
So you can laser etch that. It works just as well.
It's true too.
Well, and at PCA, I also met the guys from Bullet Box who have a very similar story to Stogie Mag, but they make their humidors out of the ammunition boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And those are really, they make, obviously, they have a much larger surface to work with. So they have some that are huge. And we might have a giveaway coming up with them,
Mm.
Okay.
some items. But
A sneak preview.
But they customize theirs too. So that's something that's really unique that they do that's a little bit different than Stogie Mag. Not necessarily the most transportable humidor, being that it's an ammunition box versus the mag, but they're both really cool and I like the concepts, especially because they're both these veteran run businesses.
Absolutely.
I'm sure Zach will enter that one too. So we'll find out
I
about
will
it real soon.
definitely enter.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
How many times have you won?
How many? Like this
He's
year?
won a lot. Yeah.
I don't know. Like maybe 3 or 4 this year. But over my lifetime, I've been very very lucky.
That's awesome. That's great.
Not so lucky that I don't have to work, but I'm pretty lucky when it comes
These
to
are prizes that
You're
usually
entering the
get
wrong drawing, Zach.
donated to us, so like I don't think you can retire off that.
Yeah, no. I did win the blind tasting kit from Cigar World, which is
Awesome.
like super cool. It's got 4 glasses that are blacked out, so you can't tell what's in them. And then it's got a 3D printed base that spins, and you put little cards next to the glasses so you can check what it is after you tasted it. And it's got a cover for it. It looks like a barrel. It's very cool.
Yeah,
That is
so
cool.
I heard about Chris, Whiskey Noob, through Adam
Yeah.
Gard of Dreamer Cigar. And we just did a article with Perfect Podcast, or Perfect Pairing. It's not a podcast anymore. Perfect Pairing with Adam and Chris. But Chris was telling me about this solo blind. And I was like, that's so smart. Because his poor wife was sick of having to basically play these whiskey games with him. That he could do
All right,
this
honey, mix
on
everything
his
up.
own. And I was like, that's really smart, because there's a lot of people that may not, want to, or have a ton of friends around that they can taste different whiskeys and try them out and things like that. So I think it's something that you could do with your friends too.
For sure.
And he worked with a partner and they did the 3D printing of it. And I mean, I was really impressed, because you don't see a ton of people nowadays who kind of innovate a new product within the cigar space. It's like, well, and I guess it's the whiskey space, but similar. There's not necessarily a ton of new things that come out of a product that's been around for so long.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't know. Now I kind of
So-
want to make one of those for cigars.
Yeah, all you
Wait.
gotta do, take the
I
bands
feel
off.
like that's a much longer process.
That would be really
Well,
hard. I would
All right,
imagine.
puff this cigar.
Yeah.
Now rotate it. Puff the cigar.
You know what, Andy, to
Gives
practice, just throw 5 cigars in a box, send it to me, take the bands off, and I'll let you know what they are.
Nope,
Yeah.
not happening.
What?
That's not nice.
I already sent you cigars this month. Get over it.
This actually leads into something for Cigar World.
Okay.
We have a program called the Testing Lab. Again, you need to be a member to belong to the Testing Lab. But Testing Lab, you get cigars sent to you, typically with a survey. Times they do not have the brand band on them, because we want to get unbiased feedback. So if you become a member of the Testing Lab, there's no guarantee that you'll get free cigars or when, but we are working on a plan that hopefully we will have a lot more opportunities within the Testing Lab. So I think there is going to be more things going on like that. And obviously we would inform you afterwards which cigars they were, so that you knew what you were smoking and finding out. But I think that's kind of fun that you don't
That is cool.
necessarily know.
It
You
is
can't
fun,
have a
yeah.
preconceived notion that it's going to be great because it's made by so-and-so or
Not
the-
Gloria
Yeah, and that's
Cubana.
very possible to do. That's very possible to do.
Yeah, I've gotten.
I've noticed that a lot of people in the cigar smoking field, like, I don't know if that's the right word, people who smoke cigars often gravitate towards a single brand or a couple brands, and then everything they make is gold for them. And if they enjoy it, then that's how it is. That's fine. But it's interesting to kind of not know what it is. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Kind of
Me too.
form an
Yeah,
unbiased
so you
opinion.
have
if you can.
honest feedback.
Mhm.
It's also like
Yeah,
a
100%.
great surprise in the mailbox. You're like, what is this box? Open it up and it says Testing Lab. Like, oh,
Piece of candy.
to smoke. Crap, I gotta take notes. Okay, we'll take notes.
Let's take notes, otherwise you will get kicked out and banned from the site. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
No.
You should take
Consequences.
notes.
I feel like if they're going to send
Yeah,
you
I
a
think-
cigar, you should take some notes.
Yeah, I think I'm not gonna count the number of cigars I've gotten. It's neither high nor low, but they all had a decent survey to go with them. I don't remember if they were banded. If I remember right, maybe one of the kits was, and one of who the kits wasn't. But the survey was really easy to fill out. You will go to the URL, you fill out the survey, and it's. But I think it's worthwhile, especially for anybody that's interested in A, free cigars, and B, the opportunity to provide feedback to a company such as STG.
Absolutely.
on what's
So
going on.
this is what I continue to tell my brand managers is, this is your opportunity to ask the questions that you want answered by a group of people that you know are going to give you honesty. So there's no reward for giving it 5 stars or 1 star. You don't get in trouble. We want honest feedback and what your experience was, and this is a great way for them to utilize that. So definitely the same kind of message that I give out to all of our brand managers.
That's cool.
Now I don't know if you mentioned this or not, but it's any cigar. It's not just STG. It's any cigar if you want to get on there.
We're
Right?
working with some third parties now to do it. That's at this point, it's only been STG cigars that have been a part of the testing lab. But moving forward, depending upon who wants to participate, then yeah. But
I was talking more about the reviews. Yeah, the website.
So the website is brand agnostic, and this is what it's getting to be more well known. But this was my biggest hurdle when I first came on board with Cigar World. I want to add as many brands to the site as possible because I want everybody's cigars to be able to be reviewed, and I want to provide the most diverse variety of cigars on the website for the consumer. So it can't just be STG brands. And that can be an uphill battle sometimes that I fight. But we don't lean and say, we only will talk about this STG brand this month if there's something going on with somebody else. So we try to give, I can only amplify information that I'm given. So if people don't give me the info, I can't do anything about it. But I do my best to touch base with everybody. And, over the past year and a half, we've added about 25 third-party brands to the site without just getting the information ourselves. That would be working with the brand owners, getting their permission. They provide us assets for photos, and then collaborating usually on a launch post with them. The reason we could very easily go in and add a brand to the site that we just got the information from the internet as well. But that's not how I want to do it. I really want it to be supported by that third party, that they're now a part of Cigar World, so that they can then guide their consumers to go to Cigar World to review their cigars. Because it's one of those, that's an opportunity that doesn't exist in other web platforms. So if you want your cigar to be reviewed in that Yelp type experience, Cigar World is where it needs to happen. And if the cigar isn't on Cigar World, it can't be reviewed. So we need to get them added in.
There's that. Yeah.
And we can vouch for.
Go ahead, Gibbs.
Go ahead, Andy.
No, you go ahead.
Fine, I'll go ahead. We can vouch for, Gene, at PCA, we saw you hustling, talking to many people, not just STG people. Just you were talking to. I know we caught you at Kiki Momo. We caught you at least two other brands that you were talking to. And we're like, wow, she's getting around talking to these people. That's awesome for Cigar World. Because
5,000 steps a day when I was at PCA.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to complain because my peers were in the booth, and to stand there from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m, I can't imagine. I was hustling, running back and forth. Yeah. So, I put my work in, but I enjoy it. Like I said, everyone is so kind, and I learned so many cool things and hear so many amazing stories when I get to chat with people that it makes it all worth it. So, but yes, definitely hustling to make those partnerships.
It's really cool.
That was awesome to see.
I'm gonna say even you talk about not having cigars that aren't just STG on the site. I know for the cigars that I smoke, out here on the patio, that maybe we don't post on our social media yet. That I've taken pictures of, and we'll post under the leaf cutter stuff later. I'll put them in Cigar World, and they're not always. Lord knows there's a wide variety of the things that we smoke.
I feel as though I discover a new cigar brand every day, and I reach out to a lot of the brands on Instagram like a total creeper under my own personal Instagram, because under Cigar World, it seems like it's a bot. So it's so funny because so many of my followers on Instagram are cigar people, and I actually don't talk about cigars on my personal Instagram, but that's how I reach out to a lot of the brands. And then I'm suggested new friends, and they're always a cigar company that I've never heard of. And I'm like, oh, they must be new. No, they've been around since 2002 or something. I'm like,
yeah,
there's so many. There's so many. I feel as though my hustle will never end of adding different brands into the site because there are so many. And if I could add every single one of them, I would.
You're right about that. It seems like every day you turn around, there's a new one coming out. And
Yep.
you're like, you've been around for how many years?
Right.
Holy crap, how have I not heard of you?
And always
But-
such cool stories. Everybody, it doesn't seem as though there's many people who just say, I think I'm going to start a cigar brand, period. You know, they have some kind of a story or something that was significant to them in their life that made them want to travel that path. So it's always exciting to get to hear those kinds of stories because to me, I am a brand follower of brands that I have respect for and I know their brand stories and I imagine a lot of people are the same. And so those are things that I always want to find out about different brands, especially when they have those historic familial ties. Those are really cool. But
Yeah.
I also enjoy hearing about the brands that were born here in the USA because that's a thing too. And it doesn't make them any less premium or a lower quality because of that. So it's interesting to hear how people got started or why they did.
It's awesome. All right, let's do a cigar check-in. I'm about halfway on mine. Where's everybody else at?
About halfway, maybe a little over.
Andy's is gone.
Told you
Okay.
I brought two for a reason.
Surprised. I am actually surprised. So
I'll
far,
talk about it in a minute.
yeah, mine has been mine's been great. I've liked it since light up. It's definitely a medium body, not quite full. I'm not even gonna put it in the medium full area because I think it's just medium, but it's perfect. The smoke output on it's really good. I don't pull flavors out, so I won't tell you any flavors coming out of it, but it's got a good taste to it. And I dry boxed this one, believe it or not, for 2 days, and I think there is a difference. I mean, I'm getting a full flavor out of the cigar, what it's supposed to be.
Nice.
And I think that's why I liked it from light up, is because of that. You know, it got the moisture out, and it's perfect in the way it's supposed to be humidified now. So, all right. How about you, Andy?
The Knuckle Buster Maduro is really good. Definitely more full than medium. For me, that's hunky dory. Kind of live close to that medium full range, anyways. Being the bigger ring gauge, since it's oh shoot, you know, I didn't put that in the trash. I don't remember what the ring gauge is on. It's 60 at least.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's at least a 60, right?
Yeah, it's burns a little bit quicker. There's a lot more airflow. It's harder to drag this one out, Gibbs. I'm sorry, buddy,
It is
but
what it is, man.
I'm enjoying the crap out of it. It's got a great, draw and a great retro. Nothing too peppery, but there's a little bit of pepper there. Since I'm getting closer to the end than y'all are, like I said, I brought another cigar out here just in case.
There you go. How about you, Billy?
Yeah, mine's been great this whole time. That initial light up, you know, I got the spicy, peppery kick to it from get go, and it's since mellowed out a little bit. I was gonna think that it was leaning more towards full body, but now it's kind of the medium full. But yeah, really good all around flavor. Haven't really picked out anything specific as far as like tasting notes or anything like that, but yeah, so far it's just been all around really freaking pleasurable.
Awesome. All right. I was going to say Grim, but Robert?
The only thing missing from the Diesel backyard barbecue pulled pork, coleslaw and baked beans.
Nice.
Too
I
tasty.
was wondering, I have had one of those with a pork sandwich, and it was tasty. I ain't going to lie. It was tasty.
Yes, I can definitely just want more of these.
Yeah, I appreciate those. Those are a little different than most of the other diesel, the different product lineups, but they're really good.
How about you, Grim?
I want to sound like Zach here for a second. This has interesting tasting notes, including oak, spice, and some sweetness. And
Are
this
you on Cigar
medium
World?
Full-bodied cigar that has a Nicaraguan wrapper, and it sounds like it'd be a great idea for me to have bourbon right now than Dr. Pepper.
I hope to God you pulled that from
Fantastic.
Cigar World, just like Gene
I
was saying.
did.
Please do.
Cigar World. Yes. And it made me
Nice.
sound smart, so I'm a bigger fan of the site now than anything else. Hooray!
Love it. How about you, Zach?
Well, again, this is different from what I remember, but it's better than I remember, and I remember it being good. I'm getting a little bit of chocolatey still, and kind of sweetness coffee kind of thing going on. Yeah, it's a great cigar, and I was just thinking, like, one of the cool things that happened at PCA was we were in the Forge cigar booth, and I was talking to what I thought was somebody from Alec Bradley about cigars, and I mentioned some cigars I liked, and it was Bradley from Alec Bradley. So it was really cool to meet him. I was like, man, I'm really a big fan of your cigars. So
Yeah, I'm a
But yeah,
big fan of both of them.
good work.
yeah, I didn't get to meet Alec, but
I don't
Matt
think
Bradley.
he was
He was
there. Alec
Yeah,
works
okay.
on. I sometimes ask, does Alec still work for us? I never see him. And I work remote, so in Alec's defense,
Yeah.
it's not because he's not working. I am in my own little bubble in Minneapolis, and he is in his bubble down in Florida. And we work under the same. We have the same leader, but we are on different projects. So, and he works on some really cool stuff. But both Bradley and Alec are very, very good. They're great guys.
I guess since you said that, Zach, I'll name drop the one other person that I know that works for STG, and that's Lindsay Eller, because I've known her for eons. So
Yeah,
Also a rock star.
I did my name drop. I'm done.
Lindsay's awesome. I actually just had a call with her for 2026 planning. So she's a great addition to the team that I'm on. And I'm excited to work with her.
Yay!
Yeah.
Awesome. So
How
since
did-
Zach hasn't really been asking. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to steal one of Zach's questions because he wrote
Go
them.
for
Yeah,
it.
that's what I'm saying. Zach hasn't been asking this question, so still one of his.
She's been doing fine talking without prompting.
I know,
so
right?
I
She
know.
doesn't need the questions.
She doesn't need questions.
How did
I
you
got
get?
this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like, that's why I'm at this point in my cigar.
Yeah, all right.
No, I'm talking too much.
No. That's not the
No.
good. We're
It's the
learning.
greatest
We're
part
learning.
about having a guest is the guest does a lot of the talking, and we get to smoke cigars. So
We get to smoke cigars.
Sorry, I'm trying to pick mine. How did you get to Cigar World? Does that make sense? Okay.
My journey starts actually working in big tobacco. I worked for an experiential marketing agency, and this is one of the reasons that I think I'm so good at the job that I do, is because I have such a diverse range of experience here. So I worked for an agency under BAT, British American Tobacco, RJ Reynolds here in the States, and we did all different kinds of events and promotions for them. And then I moved into actually working directly for RJ Reynolds, which gave me so much experience. And it was a great job, but I wanted to explore elsewhere. And so I got a job with STG. And my boss put me on Canada and Australia. So let me explain to you how devastating that was as a creative human who got put on 2 dark markets that are in plain packaging, and there's no creative outlet to manage these brand. I was the brand manager for all of the brands because there was no such thing as branding. So
Right.
Wow.
he had a plan which worked out, which was I am not a cigar consumer. And so I learned a lot. I had to learn a lot in the roles I was in, on top of regulatory, which is boring, and we're not going to talk about that. But I learned a lot about cigars in that role because you couldn't use flashy packaging and, a face or something to amplify a brand. You had to really know about cigars and the tobacco. And so I learned a lot in there, and I learned a lot of the processes with the company, but my experience lies in digital. And so then I was put on Cigar World while I was still managing Canada and Australia, which have been handed off because I'm very happy, and I smile about this because I was ready to move on from that, because it was like I learned what I needed to learn. Let me go, let the reins go, and let me do this with Cigar World, because I had some really great ideas, and that's why I'm there. I have the digital experience, the social media experience, and I'm really outgoing and creative. So I'm able to come up with plans of ways for us to amplify Cigar World in ways that are creative, that we can still get the word out there with all of the, social media regulations and things like that, to still grow the site and to bring in a new consumer and to kind of find those new consumers, because not every consumer is a 50-year-old man that drinks bourbon and plays golf on the weekends. So I feel actually that being a non-cigar consumer brings a very unique perspective to the industry for my coworkers, because I'm data driven. So I like to see surveys. I like to see what our consumers are into and what they are not, kind of look at the trends of where the industry is going, and then cater our content around that. So I'm able to take away a different perspective and to give a different perspective, because I am so new in the space. And even though we're almost 4 years in, I'm still learning every day. I mean, cigars are not something you can just pick up a pamphlet and learn overnight, as you guys know. So it's one of those, I feel like I was put in that role because of the different aspects that I can bring to it from a marketing stance.
Yeah.
That's really interesting, because there definitely are some biases that come with cigar smoking, like you're talking about 50-year-old guys who play golf, maybe like a stereotype of a cigar smoker. But I don't play golf, and I'm not 50 yet, so I'm not that demographic. There's a lot of interesting people that smoke cigars, and one of the joys of going to a local lounge is to meet those people, where you'll sit down next to somebody who works at a gas station and a professional pilot and a high-powered lawyer, and just have a good conversation. And it's the only place I'm aware of that happens so consistently.
And I'm obsessed with the moving technology of digital. So that being said, I keep up on a lot of the trends. So I have a tendency to kind of see what are people really looking at now? What are they leaning towards? And that was one of the reasons why I started working with adding third-party boutique brands versus trying to get some of the big boys on board in the beginning here, because I've noticed that a lot of these new cigar consumers love the boutique brands. So let's get them some exposure and let's get them on there, because we don't want to only have your Davidoffs and your STG brands and Padron and Fuente. We want to really kind of bring a spotlight to some of these smaller brands so that we can also gain those website members, because they feel like, okay, they have smaller brands on here. It's not just a machine of big brands.
A faceless
You're hitting
corporate.
a lot of notes. Yeah. You're hitting a lot of notes about what our podcast is about right there. We like to spotlight boutique. We really do. Not that the big boys aren't good. We've smoked them. We've liked them.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
We like to bring, a spotlight to the, lesser known boutiques that are fantastic.
Absolutely.
The boutiques that we've had on this show
brands.
have been freaking fantastic. They've given us cigars that are just, knock our socks off. Great,
There's
But,
room for
yeah.
everybody at the table.
There is. There really is.
So I believe that in all aspects of business, and especially in the cigar space, this is what differs a little bit from my prior life in big tobacco, where if you were a Marlboro smoker, you were a Marlboro smoker. Like, you would not smoke anything else. That's all you did. And with cigars, that's just not the case. I'm sure there are people who are like, all I do is smoke Rocky Patel. I'll never do anything else. That's it. But I haven't met many of those people. Everybody is always interested in hearing about the newest things and what people are trying. And so it just makes sense to bring the light to some of these new brands and what they're doing, because they're coming from a different perspective. It's really interesting. A brand that I thought was completely unique, and I could be saying their name wrong, so apologies. Chamali. It's CHIMOLLY. And it was a booth at PCA, and it had like the Asian, like Chinese look to it. Their accessories were that blue and white porcelain that you like so commonly see in that
Nice.
culture. And the guys were Asian. And I said to them, like, you're like the only Asians here. Like, what are you guys doing here? I was like, you always hear Spanish and the Central American and all. So I was really like, this is unique. What is this? And they were telling me their story, and we're adding them into the site. And they're go-getters. They're young and they're out in California. So they're dealing with all kinds of regulations out there with smoke. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was really glad to help them because they do have a ton of regulations. But I think they're a good example of, they don't have family from this. This isn't a like, oh, my grandpa was a farmer in Nicaragua. This is a US made brand that they're bringing their culture to, which is just really unique.
It's very cool.
Yeah, believe it or not, the Asian market actually has a pretty good, from what I hear, I don't get to see any of them, but they have a pretty good, line of cigars for themselves as well.
Mhm.
Especially, I think it's out of Vietnam and the Philippines. They
Sure.
grow a lot of tobacco, and they have fantastic brands over there as well. So I'm not surprised to see them there, but I agree with you. They probably were the only Asian people there.
They stuck out like a sore thumb. I mean, they did, and they were so young too. I would say they had to have been mid-20s. So,
Wow.
I mean, they were straight out of college, but hustlers, and they're working on growing placement for their cigars. And I wish them the best of luck, and was really glad to amplify them within Cigar World, because that's, one of the things that we can do is add these brands in and get them more exposure. But again, one of those things about PCA that's just so energizing is getting to hear these stories and encounter these people who are so unique and different. It's not always the same thing that you experience.
Absolutely.
It's pretty cool.
See, now I
So-
got to go add a note for a new cigar to try.
Yeah.
I know,
was gonna
right?
say, I'm
Me
not-
too.
Yep,
I
absolutely.
vaguely
gotta
remember
go find it.
seeing the booth that you're talking about, but I don't think we had time to talk to them. So that's interesting.
Well, and there was only 2 of them working the booth the whole weekend. So they were, and people were talking to them. They were busy. So I know they got a lot of orders because, of course, my job after PCA is to harass, annoy, and bother every single person that I spoke with to get back in touch with me with the things that I need, because they're busy, fulfilling their sales orders where they make their money. And I'm like, no, give me all this stuff. So and they were like, no, we love you. We want to be involved. We're just so blogged out. And I was like, you guys take your time. They're a small company and they got a ton of orders, and that is fantastic. I was like, we will sit back
That's
and
awesome.
wait for when you're ready. Yeah.
That's great.
We'll still be here.
Yes, we're going to be here.
So, being an outsider to the cigar world, coming into it, what is one of the most fascinating things you found out about cigars that you probably didn't know before?
Honestly,
And-
was the romanticism behind the handcrafted nature of it. I fell in love with cigars even though I don't smoke them. And that's why I'm still here. I find the process from seed to shelf to be just so overwhelmingly complex for this product that you just get to pick up out of a humidor. There was so much that went into that product, from procuring the right seeds to where you planted the seeds, elevation wise, what kind of soil, when did they get harvested, were they aged, and then with all the packaging. And I'm lucky enough to be in the industry, so I've been able to go to different factories and meet the people that are working all day every day on bunching or wrapping and quality control and then packaging and banding, and it is all hand made product, which is not something that I think exists a ton anymore for many products. And so I really love that. It's authentic, and it's not just some marketing ploy to say, oh, these are handcrafted artisanal. They are a handcrafted artisanal product. There are people whose jobs all day, and I had to I made a box of cigars. I don't think anybody should ever smoke them because I'm sure they are terrible. But it was hard. And I mean, and the lady that I was working with, because P.S., most of the wrappers are women. They have smaller hands and they're more detailed. So she kept like slapping my hand because I was doing it wrong, because she didn't want me to mess up the cigars that were coming out of her station. And they're dedicated, they care about this, it's important to them. So, and then the familial stories of people whose great grandparents had farms, and they're just like continuing on this lineage and either taking it and pivoting to fit what works now, or continuing on with the path they were currently on. And finally, the artwork. The boxes are beautiful, and you get this piece of artwork every time you buy a box that you can use again and again. You know, you don't have to just toss it away like a carton of cigarettes. And you get this piece of something that can be transformed into something else, which is another thing I love to highlight. Is like, I think one of the first lifestyle pieces I did was with a guy who made cigar box guitars. And I was so intrigued by how he took the cigar boxes and then transformed them into a musical instrument. But as a marketing person, I judge by the cover. And if I like the cover, I want to buy the product. So being that cigars have just so many opportunities to utilize this box, and then the band and the stories along with their, you know, their fonts and their colors. And so to me, that's one of the things that I really love about it, because there's so many different styles, from Drew Estate that's more gritty and urban and USA, to something like, you know, Partagas that's very like culturally in that space of a typical cigar brand of what you would expect.
More traditional.
Yeah. We've hit on that a couple times on our show, where we're talking about, you know, when you're walking into the humidor, are you looking for that eye-grabbing cigar? You know, what does their band look like? What does their box look like? And I think that plays a lot into it. And it's going to play a lot more into it, especially with the younger generation getting into it. They might be leaning toward that, you know, eye-catching, you know, style versus the old world style. They may just overlook that one.
Absolutely.
So there's definitely something there. And unfortunately, I also see going forward, especially with the tariffs and everything that's been in place, we might see less boxes. We may see more just bundles of cigars displayed versus boxes, because that's going to be a good way to cut costs. So I think that's going to happen too, which is sad, because like you said, there are some really nice boxes out there. But I think
this is only from my perspective, so this is nothing that I've heard or anything, but I think with the current environment of making it less desirable to have to deal with said tariffs or extended shipping times and whatnot, we're also looking inward more as to what's actually available here or within the Dominican, Nicaragua. Like, where are the box factories? They're not all going to be over and in those spots that are going to cost more or take longer. So maybe bringing in different companies that have been used before is something that that's, like I said, this isn't coming from any information, but just in my perspective, because I know some of my friends who are business owners who have been sourcing their goods from overseas are now finding people within the states that they can get their items from, so that they don't have to change it. And if that means they have to raise their price a little bit, their consumers don't seem to mind, because they understand what's going on and they still want to be able to get what they were getting before without having to, you know, kind of, I guess, give in to the current situation. But who knows? I mean, there also may not be enough box factories that can handle the volume for certain brands and whatnot. So you could be right. There could be more bundles going out there.
Yeah.
I have a cigar adjacent question, but it's more of a Gene question.
Okay.
In regards to, and you said, you know, outside of, in your personal life, you enjoy doing upscaling, and you're recycling previous stuff. Are you familiar with the guy named Nick Goss?
Yes. I love
Nick Goss.
So he just recently posted
he does so much of the same stuff.
He recently posted a picture in some goofy ass hat and this like very vintage looking shirt. And I don't normally comment on people's cigar stuff. And it was not cigar related, but he's in the cigar space. But I had to. And I was like, dude, that shirt is dope. Like, and he was like, so we chatted back and forth about it really quickly. But yes, I do know who he is.
He does a lot of, recycling. And I remember, I guess earlier this week, he had picked up something on the way to an event. I was like, yep, now I got another project. As soon as I finish my Mother's Day project.
Mother's Day was in May.
So, I know. Maybe it was Mom's birthday. Whichever.
No, I mean, I
takes time, Gene.
It does. But I was at a event in Minneapolis called Art Whirl, and I was set up doing one of my side hustle gigs. But there was a guy there who was selling chandeliers that were made out of cigar boxes, and I was like, "That is
cool.
so cool."
That's cool.
So it's because it's a product that people do dispose of. The cigar shops don't keep all of the boxes that they go through. So it's an item that you can get for really inexpensive that has beauty to it. So it's like, I don't need to do anything to this to make it look cool. And now I can throw it up and do whatever magic he did. I'm not good with that kind of stuff, but he definitely, and the one that I saw was a Drew Estate deadwood chandelier that he had on display. I was like, I sent Ricardo and Pedro pictures immediately, and I was like, you guys check this out. Like, it's so cool, because I'm always intrigued with what people are able to come up with from seeing just a cigar box.
Yeah, the music shop where we my oldest plays oboe, and so the music store in our area, right next to the register, there's a guy that makes cigar box guitars.
Okay.
And sells them out of their shop. It's really awesome.
So cool.
Can't play one, but they're cool.
I can't play an instrument. No, I play Spotify. That's what I play.
Yeah.
I can play the piano, but I can't play the guitar. Sorry.
So it looks like we got into the sad part of the cigar for me. How about everybody else?
Yeah.
I'm opening the hellos just for you, Gibbs.
Thank you. So I guess we're going to go ahead and review it. For mine, fantastic smoke. I enjoyed it getting from light up to end. I didn't have to touch it up at all. No construction issues whatsoever. It stayed medium the entire time. And I'm probably going to rate it pretty high. It's going to be a 4.8 out of 5 for me. So I definitely enjoyed that one. When I go see it in the shop, I'm definitely going to pick one up because I want another one of those. So yeah, 4.8. How about you, Andy?
I'm with Gibbs, man. I loved that cigar when I smoked it.
Mm-hmm.
The Knuckle Buster is great. It's I'm standing by my full-bodied feeling here. Getting this close to the end on a 60 ring gauge, it's getting a little toasty on the lips, but outside of that being maybe the only detractor, it burned well. I had to touch it up once, but then again, I've got a fan blowing on me, so because I am in Louisiana, it is 90,000 degrees with 150,000% humidity. But it had a good, full flavor. The retro was easy. It wasn't a retro that burned. So, on a scale of 5, I give it a 4.5. It's a little bigger ring gauge than I prefer. So, I mean, that's just preference there. But yeah, 4.5 works for me.
Works. How about you, Billy?
I would say on mine, I really thoroughly enjoyed it from start to finish. It's been flavor profiles kind of changed a little bit, but for the most part remain consistent as far as the flavor, but the strength maybe kind of started out strong, went to medium, strength picked up toward the end, but overall just a really, really great cigar. Great construction, good retrohale, fantastic. So I think I'm going to do 4.75 on mine.
There you go. Awesome.
Billy, if you get a chance, get another one of those first, but have that with a cup of coffee. It's amazing.
I could see that.
Yeah, it's like really good pair.
It's a great pairing.
How about you, Robert?
Stand by what I said the last time. It's 4.8. Damn tasty cigar. Start to finish. No issues. Everything about it I love. Except for maybe the length. I'd like it a little longer.
That's good feedback.
Yep.
That's
So
not
what,
necessarily like a detractor, though.
No.
Like,
That
it
just
kind of
means
leaves
you
you
want
wanting
more.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually one more.
That
What
just
do you
means
rate
I
it?
got to run out and get another one. 4.8.
Oh, did he?
Listen,
I
Yeah,
listen,
come on,
man.
Gibbs.
missed that one.
Jesus. See?
Gene,
Even
I'm
Gene
so
knows.
Sorry.
Hey, Grim, me and you are just gonna have to have our own show.
Gene wrote it down. She
He just
cheated. She wrote it down.
I actually
Got the
didn't write it
order
down.
wrong.
Dang it!
I'm
All right,
sorry.
Grim. How about you, buddy?
The average rating for the Whiskey Row is a 4.47. I am a little above average, and I'm going to say 4.5. So enjoy that extra 0.03, Diesel.
That's hilarious.
Take a
Okay, how
picture,
about you,
post it
Zach?
on the page.
That's it.
So no big changes while smoking it. Flavor profile is kind of stayed about the same, kind of chocolatey and coffee kind of notes, a little bit of sweetness, and probably give it about a medium as far as like strength and body. Maybe on the full side of medium, but not quite full. It's approachable. It's not something that's gonna put you on your butt if you don't smoke cigars often. And I would say, as far as ratings go, I mean it's different from what I remember, but in a good way. I remembered it being a little less flavorful, and maybe that's just kind of how I've changed and how the cigar aged in my humidor or whatever. But I'm gonna give it a 4.5. It's definitely worth your time if you haven't tried one. It's a solid stick. I know that Alec Bradley is a brand that I can pick up at a cigar shop that if I haven't had it, I know it's going to be a good cigar, because those guys, they make good stuff.
That they do. All right, go ahead, Zach.
So you mentioned that you get to visit cigar factories and have done some of that interesting stuff. What's the most interesting place that you visited since you've been in the cigar industry? It doesn't have to be a factory or an STG brand. It could be like you were at an airport and someplace that was cool.
No, man. Honestly, it's PCA. It is.
Really? Wow.
Yes. And it's not because of the location. Listen, I love the Vegas, and I'm so sad that they moved it to New Orleans, but it's gone back, and I'm pleased about that. But it's the experience of being around so many people that are so passionate about this industry, that have so much to offer each other. And I don't walk in there feeling, and granted, they're not selling to me. I'm not a retailer, but I don't even necessarily feel like a retailer would walk in there and feel as though they're being sold to. It's just a really great way for everybody to showcase what they're doing and how proud they are of it. I feel like I've met some of the coolest people at PCA. I would say a follow-up would probably be, and my coworkers are going to kill me, but when I was able to go to the Drew Estate headquarters for the first time.
That's cool.
It was, I'm a big artwork person, and their art team, their creative art team is in the building. And so I got to meet their director of their creative artwork and see all of the old pieces that they've done. As we all know, Drew Estate's huge on swag. So it was almost like a museum of swag in a style that I like, because I definitely am a street art fan. So to me, I was able to nerd out a little bit for that experience. So those would probably be my top two, like, really unique things. Third, I'm going to throw in is that I was able recently to work with Edward Crow, who is the manager of Yellow Wolf. And he just came out with his cigar in May that he launched at Smokinos. That's how I say it, right? Smokinos. And so I got to kind of enter into the rock star world for a little bit. And that was really fun too. So this job is truly unique, and I'm really lucky to have it, because I get to meet so many different cool people and hear so many amazing stories. So the opportunities, Dominican is great. I have not gone to Honduras or Nicaragua yet. I want to, but I mean, in reality, we need to send people where it makes sense. So for me, I don't necessarily need to go to those spots yet, but I assume I will at some point in time, and I'm excited to see. And it's always an experience.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. So we want to say thank you for being on the show, Gene. We've learned a lot, especially about cigar world, that, some of the things that I didn't even know before, I know now. So that's great. And also, we want you to take this time to go ahead and tell us a little bit more about what's coming out for Cigar World. What's in the hopper that we don't necessarily know about, and take the time.
So what I'm allowed
Poke
to say.
What did legal say you could say?
And
G?
what legal
This is
says
where
you
I
can
was like,
say.
oh, what am I allowed to say? So Cigar World is ever evolving. As I said, we want to add as many brands to the site as possible. I have big sky dreams, and I have some things like SEO optimization that are just really boring topics. But ultimately,
Not for me.
I imagine that this website is going nowhere but up. We're going to be getting more and more brands involved, which means we'll be able to do more and more things. Honestly, it's just something that I can't necessarily get into because, you know what, they adjust my budget sometimes and then things don't happen or whatnot. But I can promise that we will have fun, engaging content, that we have big plans on some programs that would potentially be beneficial for our Cigar World members, and always working on getting free shit that we can give out to you guys. So, and the more people know about us, the more people want to be involved. So I always have crazy ideas, and sometimes my boss loves them and sometimes he hates them. So we'll see. But I would say there's going to be some cool things coming up that everybody can be excited about.
I like that's the safe way of saying it. That's all.
We'll stay tuned and find out.
My legal team will be
We'll
happy.
definitely see it. Well, on that note, I think again, thank you for being on. Thank you for letting us know a little bit more about Cigar World.
Thank you so much for
All right,
having me
thank
on,
you.
guys. Like, I appreciate
Thanks for
it.
coming.
Yeah, thanks for coming.